Welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Athlete Podcast. I'm here as your host, Joseph, here with Zach. How's it going today?
Dude, things are really good. How are you?
Doing all right. Cannot complain. It's another Monday. Back to potting. Feel like we haven't potted. I mean, I know we had one podcast last week, but I feel like we haven't really potted too consistently. So hopefully get back up jumping this week. It's been kind of slow with the news, and there hasn't really just much to talk about other than Caitlin Clark. It seems like, I mean, I know the NBA Finals is going on, but like you wouldn't know if you turned on your sports television. Am I right there, or
Well, I think the NBA finals have been really lackluster. The stars aren't really starring. I mean, Luka's doing his best, but Kyrie's been underperforming. And outside
yeah,
of Kyrie and Luka, the Mavs just don't really have the talent, like star talent I'm talking about. They have pretty good roster, um, but yeah. And then on the other side, the Celtics, the biggest thing is, um, it seems like, I mean, we can talk more about it in detail, but it just seems like Tatum's been underperforming.
yeah? I want to get to that later on in the episode.
Yeah.
Today topic, just because I think there's an underlying question that relates to Tatum and Brown and just the Celtics in general, like what they built there. What was the last GM's name? I forget his guy's name.
Stevens?
He's at he's no, he's at the Jazz now.
Oh, the
Danny
Bears.
Ainge.
Yeah.
Sorry, what Danny Ainge kind of like built, with Tatum and Brown, but now, Brad Stevens kind of finished the build out. But let's get to more important matters, which is my Lakers. Lakers not being able to land Dan Hurley, Coach Hurley, UConn's coach. And honestly, it came down to a lot of things. I think one of the biggest things it came down to was, in my opinion, the deal wasn't large enough for him to leave college, for him to leave for him to move his whole family from Connecticut, and they're born and raised in the East Coast, both him and his wife, and for him to go all the way across the country to California, which I don't know the taxes are in Connecticut. I'm sure they're really high, but they're not probably higher than California.
Sure. Yeah.
So and then you just got to kind of start over. And then I don't know what Jenny Bus, because Jenny Bus and Kurt Rambis' wife, they took Dan Hurley's wife out. So I don't know what happened there. Like, only thing I can think of is that like Jenny Bus said, "Oh, you can sit next to LeBron James when he's not playing," or something like that. But like, I think the selling point was for her to meet the wife. I just don't like think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of things I want to say, but I'll leave it to you to kind of start things off.
Yeah. I think it came down to a few different factors, to be honest. And I think this all could have been like when it first came out. I don't think, were you seriously thinking that they were going to make this move? Because I just kept telling a bunch of my friends,
So
it just doesn't make sense. The more I thought about it,
so
the more I hated it.
the
And I had TV
so
guys
so
lying to
so
America.
when I saw the news, I'm like, oh, this is fake. I looked it up. I thought it was like a fake Woj account. That's as soon as I thought, I was like, there's no way. And then I looked into it. I was like, oh, this is serious. And then I was talking to
Yeah.
my friend. I think we both were the same friend, but I was talking to him, and I was like, I don't think we're gonna land this guy. Like why would he leave a perfect situation in college to go to a bad situation in the NBA? Like it's just
It, it,
like the situation in the Lakers. I'm a Laker fan. I love the Lakers, but it's not a ideal Lakers situation. It just isn't. Like this is not the same. This isn't the same Laker team that. This is not like Kareem and Magic. This is not like Kobe and Shaq. This is not like Kobe and Paul Gasol. This is not going into like a locker room where you have like guys that you can win with. And I'm saying this is true. I don't think you can win with LeBron James anymore. I don't. I think his time is past. I think he's just playing to play to break his records and to keep his legacy going. But
yeah.
I just didn't see it as a likelihood that this was going to be something true to answer your question.
Well, I like from from this like from my perspective, right? I don't know anything about it, have no inside sources, right? When it comes to the first thing, the dollar value, I think if you're going to want to bring somebody out to the Los Angeles Lakers, coming from a guy who's back-to-back champions, and he has a good shot at doing it again, going for a three-peat next year
Yeah.
at UConn. they're in one of the better conferences as well, already in college. So it's not like he's leaving for a better comp. Like he won't leave Connecticut to go to a better college job. Is there one out there? I don't think so. Like people try to say Kentucky for when Kentucky was open, but you see how those fans are. They lose one game and they go crazy. It's like the end of the world. UConn, they care about championships more so than your regular season record. They want the wins too, but hey, they'll really love you if you're a champion. Think Kemba Walker when they were barely in, they needed to win every single game to get in that season, right? So is that the money wasn't there. $70 million over 6 years, like are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Monty Williams gets paid like twice that amount, right?
75
And he's
million.
trash, right?
It's
So
not
then
twice.
there's
He gets paid 75 million over.
well, it's more, right?
But still, like
The
like
second thing,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't here you.
Go,
I don't
go,
want you to
go.
just want to through one. The second thing, right? When you look at the Lakers, like roster wise, I don't think that you can win with LeBron as your best player. So really, you're gonna have to build a team around AD. Uh, I think it's gonna be challenging because if you watch UConn, they demand a lot of their players, both offensively and defensively, specifically the bigs. Like they don't want they get mad if you're he'll start yelling. Hurley starts yelling, jumping up and down. If you're in foul trouble, he'll get into players' face. He'll yell at his assistant coaches. I just don't see that going well with Anthony Davis. Like he's really soft. He's one of the softest players in the NBA, superstar, all that, but he's still really soft. So I don't see that. Um, and then he demands a lot about from the worst player on your roster. So
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to yell, and I don't think that's going to really fit in an NBA environment. He's going to want full control over what these guys eat, what they
do.
do from
Yeah,
day to day. Like, you think he's going to want LeBron James doing a podcast with the guy who almost had the Lakers job and he ended up getting it, like with JJ Redick? Like, no, there's no way. He's going to pull him in and say, no, you can't do that. But you can't do that with grown people. This is totally different. They're not
yeah,
kids anymore. The third thing, right? The Lakers just I think it's time to talk about it. Like when it comes to they're pretty much I'm not like Oakland Raiders. Like that's where the franchise is comparatively.
yeah.
Like their owners are poor. They just can't afford to run a basketball team, and nobody talks about it. Like these guys have the Bus family has the Lakers, and that's it. They don't have nothing else that they have income wise. So when you have somebody in the same building, well, he's going to be leaving now, Bomber, right? Who's been in this $1 billion playground for his team to be averaging, right? They can spend money freely. They can go out, Ty Lue, you want some more money? We'll throw it at you. They don't care. The Warriors building Chase Center. We'll pay it. We got a whole bunch of money. When it comes to the Lakers, they have no money. The only thing they go off of is their brand. Like the Raiders used to go off their brand. Now,
Mm.
the Raiders have turned into a franchise that is willing to pay. All it took was them to move to Vegas, and Vegas paid them to go out there, right? It might be time for the freaking Lakers to relocate. I'm just saying. I know people don't want to hear it, and it's like the Lakers really need to be in LA, but do they? Because they like relative to who's around them, like they're just I don't know. You can't be the Lakers and not pay for people. Like
Yeah.
I don't. It's mind boggling to me. And then the best thing they can do, Joseph, is pay for old stars that they
No
have a
one
name, so
wants.
people are going to see LeBron. They're going to come to see a 35-year-old Kobe. Like they're going to come to see these guys, but they know for a fact you can't win a title. You just can't unless you do a little Disney championship in the bubble. So man, it's just for those three things, I think Hurley was really wise to stay away from this thing because they don't even give you a chance. Like the Raiders, they'll fire you after a year. Like that's what they do now. This Bus family is really dysfunctional. Palinka, he's just there to because he knew Kobe. Excuse me. Like
Mm.
he like what players has he really
Yeah.
brought in?
Honestly, other than like,
LeBron,
I'm
Magic
not,
got LeBron.
I'm not counting. I wouldn't even count LeBron James being Magic. I think that was just LeBron wanted to play for the Lakers, and that and that happened. It
No,
was the Lakers or the
Magic,
Clippers.
Magic. He's the guy who he can
Right.
do it. Magic Johnson just has that Laker
Yeah.
personality, like he really does. And if I was them, I'd try to bring him back around. But you got to get rid of Palinka, and I think that Jeannie is really close to him because he was close to Kobe, probably. But that's about it.
Yeah, I agree with all your points, honestly. Um, I mean, Jenny Buss is the poorest owner in the NBA by far. It's not close. When you have the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, who has a net worth of billions of dollars, his company is a
Yeah,
fortune. His company is
he
trading at
just
five
plays
hundred
around
dollars
with
per
money.
share. Like
You saw
he
the new stadium?
buys. He funded a new stadium with
A
cash.
charger in every seat. Every seat's gonna have a
So
charger.
like
Ten thousand
I was
bathrooms,
talking
so
to
he doesn't want you in line to be
I was talking
to
to
use the bathroom. He
one of my
wants you to
Lakers
watch the game.
fans earlier today.
It's like,
I was like, you know what I thought about? Like the Lakers don't even have a memorial or like a memorial center like in their arena. Like nowhere to go to like honor like the greats. Like they have statues, right? They have
no,
statues and stuff
it's
like that.
outside.
No. They don't. No,
It's pretty cool.
I know what you're referring to, but I'm just saying like a more like updated version of something where you are kind of have like a showroom of like the of just like the overall Laker history. And I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like they kind of have like the statues and they have like
They have all
like
the
the
statues of all the
plaques.
greats when
Yeah,
you're walking into it.
yeah,
You
I
have
understand
everybody.
that, but
Yeah,
I'm more talking about just honoring the greats embedded in that a little bit, and just giving
mm,
people a little bit more like money's worth for the ticket to go into the game. Hey, this is what we're doing. Like, this is what we're advancing to. Like, no more statues outside. How about we're gonna have a memorial center inside? I'm just trying to think of ways that they can renovate the arena from because they haven't done anything to the arena. I went there in 2017.
yeah.
First time, no, it was like 2015. First time I go to Lake Haven. I went there like 3 years later. Nothing had been changed since, and it's just something that, like, to me, you go to like you've been to Atlanta's arena, right? Like the Hawks arena is
I haven't
amazing.
been in a really long time.
Okay, but if you go, that is probably one of the best arenas I've been to. Chase Center, not the best arena, but it's better than Oracle,
Chase
right?
is brand new. You're comparing like a 20-year-old
No,
like.
I
Oh, I'm sorry.
understand that. I understand that. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying these are teams that have won recently and who have advanced their well, I guess not the Hawks really, but they've renovated their arenas where they play, where they play half of their
well,
games. So
I think to your point, there's not a lot of like fan not if you're not in the building watching the Laker game, there's not a lot going on. Like I know the Raptors, they had like the whole outside center with
yeah,
people
they have
watching.
yeah.
Um, they had the Bucks, they do it too. I mean, but I guess are we arguing that these fan bases are better than the Lakers?
I am arguing that the Lakers don't have the Lakers. I'm saying that the Lakers ownership, which is the Buzz family, don't have the wherewithal to understand like what true fandom is. Like even Bomber,
Well, they
like
don't have the money.
well,
I think that's
that's my
what you got to
point.
understand, Joseph. These
That's my
guys are
point.
broke.
But
Like, bro,
Even Bomber
they're
understands
not
it.
broke like
Understands it.
relative to NBA
Yeah, I get
teams.
what
That's
you're
what
saying.
I
But
got. I
even
just got
Bomber, even Bomber,
problems with him.
even Bomber, he pretty much he has a whole section for just Clipper crazy fans, so they can go crazy. Listen, I think it's a stupid idea personally, but at least he's thinking about like, hey, how can I make my fans get their money's worth for the money that they're paying for these
Well,
seats?
that's why. But the
And
Lakers. I mean, but maybe you're missing it, Joseph. But the Lakers, what they did with their stadium, and they were the first to do it too, right? If you watch,
oh
or
yeah,
if you
yeah,
watch
I'm
anything
forgetting
about
too.
Jerry Buss,
Yeah,
right? The light
the
they really
cheerleading,
put
the
on a
lighting,
show. Well, no, I'm
yeah.
talking about the lighting that they do on the floor. So it's totally different than any other stadium or arena. I guess they're arenas for
Yeah, but
basketball.
but I think at this point, if Dr. Bus was with us today, I think he would have advanced it somehow. I honestly think, and I'm
I,
gonna get back to
if
the
Dr.
Hurley
Buss was
situation.
alive, if Dr. Buss was alive and he wanted Hurley would be the Lakers head coach.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
It's really that simple.
Like legit. Like Dr. Bus probably would have borrowed money from Steve Ballmer to get. I'm
No,
not.
he would have
I'm
done
not.
something. He would have.
He would
But
have done something to get the money to get Hurley his buddy. Hello. Yeah.
no, that's it. I mean, there's nothing else for me to
Oh
comment
yeah.
on that one.
No, I was gonna say, and I guess my things are with the Hurley decision is to answer your question. No, I don't think it was ever gonna happen. But I do want to bring this to the table because I want to talk about because this is something that you didn't bring up. I think LeBron James is leaving LA, and as a Laker fan, I
I think
want
he's
him to
got
leave
to.
LA. I want him to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. As a Laker fan, I want him gone. And it's not a matter of, hey, LeBron James, I don't care about what you did for us. Hey, LeBron, because LeBron James took us out of irrelevant to relevant because we were trash before LeBron was here.
What was
And I
crazy is,
really appreciate what he did for our franchise. I really do.
would
What?
you would you have like
Would I
at
trade
one
those
point
LeBron
at
years
one point
for other?
at one
Go ahead.
point okay, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say?
No, 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 no. I was gonna see if you're gonna ask, would I trade those LeBron years for what we gave up for LeBron and AD?
Exactly.
And
Like
and the
you
question is
like
no, I
the
wouldn't.
Lakers, like D'Angelo Russell, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, like
Larry Nance, all those
Clarkson,
guys.
like like these guys are productive players for their roster. I know Ball is hurt right now, but when he plays, he's a very productive player.
Yeah.
Um, Ingram's the either best or second best, depending on what you think about
Josh
Williamson
Hart.
on
I didn't
this
even think
team.
about Josh Hart. We had
Like
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Dude, we
Like
had
these
we
are
had
all
a
guys that
legit team. Like and and, and I mean, I knew the Lakers were like I don't know. You can check my tweets, but like I always said, like, hey, like give us some time. I think we'll be a good team. But you can't do that with the Lakers. Lakers don't do that. Lakers don't function that way. And I think that was one of my frustrations as a Laker fan because you watch all these teams, watch the Celtics, you watch, you watch the Warriors, the year that they won in 2022. And in this past decade, they grew their guys, they grew their core, and they stuck with the core. So that's what you got to do. You build it, you draft the core. Like even like right, we're gonna talk about the WNBA in a couple minutes. I mean, in a couple minutes here, but even WNBA, like the Las Vegas Aces had three number one picks in a row, drafted three number one picks in a row. They were trash. Then they won, and now they're one of the best. Well, now they are the best team in the WNBA. Look at the Fever. They got Aaliyah Boston. They got Caitlin Clark. They got all the number one picks. It's gonna grow to something if they just stay with it, and that's something that people don't understand. As a Laker fan, I understand that we're not gonna win every year.
well, the problem is, Joseph, and this is the
And Bucks
cycle
family
that
doesn't understand.
well, no, I think they understand, but the arena, like the Lakers arenas were empty.
Oh yeah,
Like during those years, it was empty,
it was trash. It
and
was
we
like
just talked
40%
about
fill. That
we're
was like the
talking
best.
about the Bus family doesn't have money. Like these, they literally can't afford to not put out a team with a star in it that people would line up and spend merchandise and pay to see the seats, the games. Like they rely on this income for the NBA. So like, and then what sucks is like they can't even. They're not a small market team where the shared revenue that they have with the owners, like they can be like, oh, okay, we'll get the money from. They're like bringing the money in because they're such a huge franchise. So they really are stuck. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they do other than bring back the team that they have. But to your point, Joseph, I'm with you. I've been calling LeBron James gone for a while now,
Yeah, I've
especially with
been.
his son coming in. Like, I think he's going to have to surround himself with people are going to call me a fanboy. Go
Yes,
ahead,
man.
but he's going to have to combine forces with like a team like the Warriors,
Oh yeah.
where he can come in. No, I'm serious. Like he can play with his son, and his son won't have to do anything but play defense, hit a three every once in a while because he's passing to Steph Curry, his dad LeBron, Klay Thompson, like Kuminga. Like there's so much talent. Philadelphia, he can go to Philadelphia. His son can play with just pass the ball to Maxey and Embiid and LeBron. Like I'm just saying these are spots where his
Yeah.
son can come in and not have to like he's not stealing minutes from players that are legit, I guess, better because they'll gut the roster so much to get him. Like if he like it was rumors that the Suns are looking at
Sixers
LeBron.
too. I think Sixers would be perfect for LeBron, honestly, at this age.
I think well the
Because
Suns for me because then he gets to pass to KD,
I
Bill,
the only
Booker.
thing
Like he doesn't have to shoot. He can
is
really play. He can really play point. He can really play
yeah,
point.
but okay, so here's my thing with the with the Sixers. It gets them back in a week conference, right? And you get to play with the
Well,
best
yeah,
player in the conference,
yeah.
and you get to play with
Are
the
they going to beat the Celtics?
Kyrie Irving like point guard Tyrese Maxey. So I think it gives him pretty
A
much what he
very,
has
very,
right.
very, 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 very poor man. Like
Well,
it's
yeah, well,
pennies to a dollar. Like
no,
let's
no,
be real.
I'm not comparing him to. I'm
It's
just saying, like
no, I'm just saying it
he is good. Like he's a good player. I'm not comparing him to Kyrie
because
Irving.
he shoots the ball a lot because there ain't no one else there.
I think Max is a baller. I think he is, but I
Yeah,
don't
because
think
no,
he.
who else
But
is
I
on
think
the roster of the 76ers that he's competing for shots up against? It's literally
oh
Embiid and him. Like they
yeah,
surround,
but
they have
okay.
trash.
But if you're LeBron James, though, if you're LeBron James, would you go? You're saying I would rather go to the Suns.
Oh, Phoenix by far.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, so let me ask you this
Oh
because
no, I don't think it's gonna happen either. But
I just looked this up. I didn't realize. I didn't realize this. So the Buss family, they have 66% of the Lakers ownership, right? Each kid has 11%. So what I'm curious on is, and I know a few years ago, like maybe like 2016, 2017, like one of the kids wanted, or I guess it's not kid anymore, but one of the sons wanted to sell the team. Like when they were like, "Hey, let's sell the team. We can get like $3 billion worth." And Jenny Buss was pretty much just said no, and everyone else said no
no,
with them, right? So what I'm wondering is, how many people are like, listen, we're not gonna listen. Jenny Buss could have been like, hey, I'm gonna give the guy $100 million, and the brothers, other siblings were like, no, we're not going with that. Like, okay, what's the most we can do? Okay, 70 million is the most we can do. And I'm wondering if that happened, if some type of like, if some form of um I don't know if it's sabotage, but some form of just like the siblings not wanting to continue this like to Lakers legacy going on anymore has
unless
something to do with it.
unless unless you believe in some type of conspiracy. Like we can put a conspiracy hat on and say JJ Redick has the job. He's looking at them saying, "Hey, I want more money than what you guys are offering." They bring in
Mm.
Hurley. Hurley's a big name. Woj apparently Woj wrote a book about the Hurley family, so
Yeah,
he's
I was gonna
really
get to
close
that.
with
Yeah,
Hurley,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
there's that, right? And then if you believe in this conspiracy, right,
Hurley wants to
the
get paid
idea
too.
behind it is Hurley wants to get paid, so he's a good person to use. And then the Lakers can come back to JJ Redick and say, "Hey, you're going to pay this two-time champion 6 years, 70 million. Like you take your 6 year, 50 or whatever it is,
$30 million
for
dollars.
Red. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
see.
like
Yeah, I see what you're
you're not
saying.
a two-time champion. You're not
Yeah,
a two-time champion. Your name's not big as Hurley. Like you have no coaching experience.
because
This guy's
because
11 years of it. Like
I will say, I don't know. I think the news got released on game one of the NBA Finals. I think it was that same day. It was Thursday. Yeah, yeah, it was
yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
And
It was the game. It was
Reddick's
the
mood was like totally off during the entire game. Like I don't know, like at least for me, like it was off. It was like not as
well. Did you
he
watch
wasn't
the
as
interview with
energetic.
him Wednesday?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah. The
did
one
an
that he was on
interview
the podcast
Wednesday
with
when Shams broke the
with
news.
um
I forgot who it was, but he was
Mike,
like,
Mike. What's his brother's name on the Greenberg brother? What's his name?
"Yeah, well, Golick, right? Or no, Greenberg? I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not gonna
Dan
lie.
Greenberg. What's his the guy that hosts
Mike
Get Up?
Greenberg?
It was his running mate, not his brother. His running mate. They had a show together back in the day.
Whoever it was, just keep
It was
going.
Mike
'Cause
Golick.
I
I
don't
think it
know.
was Mike Golick. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Mike Golick and Mike Golick's son. They asked him about it. He was all like, "Well, wait." He's like pretty much saying that he won't say anything until after the season is over. But I think something along the lines is happening behind the scenes that we don't know about. Because I didn't realize that Redick hasn't even interviewed for the job yet. Like, Wolves just put it out today that they may interview JJ Redick for the job, but Redick hasn't had one interview, or he hasn't met with the Lakers like formally, like a sit down
Wait,
interview.
huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is getting ridiculous. I'm out of it.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
so I have no idea. Listen, bottom line is I have no idea what's going on with the Lakers situation. Like I don't, and I don't think anyone does. And I think this is very telling of just Jenny Buss, run with the whole thing. Like this is why Magic Johnson left the Lakers just sporadically a few years back. Like this is
Well,
why.
he didn't like the power struggle they had with
Well, no, this is and
Pelinka.
this is the reason. This is what I'm saying. Like like, but before that, Magic Johnson wanted like he didn't get like it's just a lot of stuff that happened with the Lakers. All right, let's get to the WNBA. Unless there's anything else we want to talk about with Dan Hurley and the Lakers.
No, let's do the W.
All right. Well, so Zach's been watching the WNBA, and I'm scrolling through my phone just to try to pull up the question, or not questions, but pull up his findings. So Zachary's been watching the WNBA. Zachary has never watched the WNBA before this season. Well, I guess you watched games here and there. You watched women's games here and there, but yeah, you haven't really like consistently watched it until this year. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, I've been watching college, or sorry, women's professional, the W as they call it, for about a week or so now. I wanted to see what is all the fuss about. I've tuned in the past on select games, and it didn't pique my interest because I saw a lot of missed layups, a lot of air balls. Um, the women coaches, they're fine. It's whatever. It's not like college where they are the show and they dress up like sideshows or something to get
Yeah,
attention.
like
So I mean,
what are you talking about? Like Kim Mulkey,
it's all
like
it's all the
or
coaches.
like
It's
Don
all the coaches.
Staley, like Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton jacket. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's really about it's really they've done a good job of making it about the player, so I'll give them that. But yeah, I have some findings. Do you want me to go over it, or you want? How do you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to do
yeah. No,
this?
no, no. Yeah. Go over them because I actually like these findings because this is so these findings and I hope we get more people to watch this who have watched the NBA WNBA for a while, especially our female viewers if we have any. But these are the typical findings that I noticed from male viewers, honestly. Like what you say. I don't think there's wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong about it. But I think. But go ahead. Tell your findings, and then I'll kind of say my reason. You know,
But
I'll kind of
before
say
I
what I have
jump
to say.
in, if they seem negative, I promise you they are not. This is just my like thoughts when I'm watching this stuff. I want to be a fan, and the W maybe they can fix it, maybe they can't. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyway, so the first one I got is the refs barely call fouls. I see a girl run into somebody and it's like a foul. She tackles her. The girl falls down. It's a turnover. And it's just a pass the other side. And it's easy 2 points for the team. And I'm like, hold up. They just tackled this poor little girl. And she's looking around for the fouls. And the refs are like, I'm just thinking to myself, now I watched LeBron James for many years. And he's the aggressor when he drives to the basket. And he gets every foul call anytime someone touches him. It's a foul. And here these women are when they're just trying to, they're just dribbling. They're not even at this point, not even trying to make a layup. They're just like dribbling and they just get tackled and the refs say no foul. So that's the biggest one. I know you've said in the past, hey, it's more physical, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because they don't want the games to go on forever, but there's a definitely an intent by the refs to say we're not calling every foul. You're gonna get beat up, but you can beat up people because we ain't gonna call it on the other side either. So, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think this is one of the things that has been my complaints about the W for quite some time. And to give you background on me, I've been watching WNBA for about, I would say about 5, 6 years
Huge
consistently.
fan.
And I am a huge fan. I'm a WNBA League Pass. I purchase it yearly, and I watch it I watch it nightly. Well, when it's on, like right now, I got the Fever and the Suns game going on right now. Suns are kicking their butt. But I would say you're right. And this is something that I've been trying to figure out why. And Cheryl Swoops was on the Joe Arena show, and you know who Cheryl Swoops is. And
Mm-hmm.
she was talking about how physical the game is and how pretty much the WNBA is that way, mainly because of this. I don't know. I won't say stereotype, but the idea that people have around women, how women are not physical. And she was explaining like the history of like, hey, like we want to
Mm.
show that women can play physically without being wishy washy and without being like what people view as a woman in just the world's view, right? Where like your daughter may fall and you're like, oh, like let me pick her up or let me check in on her or something like that. Where you don't want to be overly sensitive to every single touch call because women are just innately uh, weaker than men. I mean, they're just not so every little contact, something there is gonna be a strong contact on every single drive every single shot, move, so forth and so forth. But with that being said, I will agree with to your point, and I think they're gonna fix this, down the road. Because remember in the NBA where like everybody's complaint was after Jordan retired was was the game was too physical, like, right? It was too physical in the '90s or in the '80s and in the '80s and no, sorry, in the '80s it was too physical. In the '90s it was not physical enough, and then in the 2000s it was
No, no, no. You got it a little backwards there. 90s, it was still
sorry,
physical. It was
sorry.
physical up until like the 2010.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. It was physical, and then after I was after like 2013, after the lockout season, honestly, like things start to change. And then you
It
start
was
to see
when LeBron started winning championships. That's how you know
yeah,
it got soft.
and then you start to see the Warriors, for example, the Warriors doing illegal screens, not getting called, and stuff like that started happening. So I think eventually the WNBA will catch up. So I think probably in the next 5 years you're going to see a lot less. You're going to see a lot more calls being called because and you're going to see you're going to see better officiating. Like the officiating in the WNBA is not as good as officiating in the NBA, or I would say even the
Well,
college
that
level.
I'm like that is really bad to say because the officiating in the NBA we saw like I have a whole lot to say about the officiating in the NBA. These guys are getting paid so much money from either bookies or sports books. Somewhere there's a because these the Mavericks Celtics game should have been totally different yesterday. The Celtics should have blew those suckers out. But the refs in the first half, they thought they were smart, and I wouldn't notice. But no, I noticed. They're calling every foul for the Mavericks to keep them in the game, and then they're not letting them go too far. And then when the Celtics they start to go on a run, they're like, "Hey, spread 7." Some people got 6.5, some people got 7.5, but we need to keep it right about that. We saw the Mavericks get a steal, and they had a foul, by the way. I forgot who it was, but he got like pushed in the back,
Pushed
and
in the
they're like,
back,
"Oh,
yeah.
what a block! What a block!" And I look
Yeah.
up, I'm like, these guys really wanted to make the spread right at 7. And what did the game ended up? It ended up
So yeah,
finishing with
I
a
tried looking at the
7 point
spread after the
win.
game
These guys are
because the game
freaking.
was
These
fishy.
guys are
And then
fraud.
at the end, the Mavericks didn't foul. Like that was fishing. Like they didn't foul. Try to. It was like 30, it was like
No,
25.
because
It
it's
was like
like
30 seconds, and they didn't foul. It was weird. NBA is weird.
no.
NBA is very
So I
fishy.
can't say the NBA refs. I can't say
All right,
the refs
let's get to
are
your
the
second
same
point.
as them. I say the WNBA has better refs than the NBA. But what I will say to your point, college basketball is for me is weird. I get what you're saying all about the they don't want the softness in the WNBA, right? But it seems like people like I watched the college basketball for women's, and then I watched the professional league, and I get you're supposed to be more physical in the pros. Totally understand that. You're playing with 30-year-old women, 35, 40-year-old when it comes to Diana Taurasi. She's still out there balling. I understand that. But I mean, I feel like you can still we all know what a foul and what a not foul is. But
Yeah,
we can continue that conversation later. I got more. The next
let's
thing.
go.
This again, this is not meant harm. Okay, I'm not saying these things for harming the game. How can we improve the game? That's my question. But the next one might be cause controversy. I'm just gonna say it. Women are very uncoordinated. I don't know what it is, but I saw so many I'll call them women. I don't want people to be like Zachary. They're not girls. They're grown up. So I'll say women. I've seen so many times when they just pass the ball to the other team. It's not even like I'm like, what's going on? They
Yeah,
don't even try to pass the
Aisha
ball to
Carter
there. They
did
just
that the other day.
you saw that? She said, "Here, other
I mean,
team, go
but
score."
I mean,
I see them
obviously,
throw the ball to Ghost. They throw the ball out of bounds a lot. I see them airball a lot. I see them going to the dribble and just fall, or they just the ball. Just don't throw them a pass in transition. That ball, you don't know what's going to happen. Every ball. Like I played basketball, and there's things called 50-50 balls. Every pass in women's basketball is a 50-50 ball. You don't know what's going to happen. Like you'll see the ball, like they throw a little chest pass, easy. It's lost. Like, oh my god, I couldn't do it.
so
Brittany Griner,
yeah.
she must be strong because I see her throw the ball 2 feet from her teammate. Like it was like 90 miles per hour. You thought she was like Randy Johnson out there. Like it's weird, man. I don't know. Like, how do you fix it? Can you fix it? Because I didn't even notice that women were uncoordinated. So I'm watching the game for about a week and a half, and I'm like, this isn't just select. And it's not like every team has like two or three. Every team has like 10 girls who can't freaking dribble or who can't like run and chew gum at the same time. It's I'm again not trying to uh, criticize right now. It's just what I'm noticing about the league, and for them to get to that pay level they want and expect to earn, these things can fix it. Become more coordinated.
So, so there's actually science that backs your claim that women are more uncoordinated than male. So it's not something that is what's the word? I guess is that something that is discriminated towards the gender? It's a fact. I would agree. I agree with you, and I think that's why people like Caitlin Clark, people like Brianna Stewart, people like Asia Wilson, people like who are like really good at this sport are very coordinated. Like you ask Caitlin Clark, she's very coordinated. Like she like honestly, I mean, I, I don't want to say like anything that disrespectful, but she kind of dribbles like a dude. Like she just does. She moves like a dude. You watch Juju Watkins, like from USC. Like she moves like a dude.
She
Like
made she. I'll give you.
she,
The Juju one. I see a lot more. Like I think I
oh,
think
she's
she's
amazing.
who
She's
people are
amazing.
expecting
Juju
Caitlin Clark to
Watkins.
be. I think
Oh,
Juju's going to be the person that takes the
oh
league
my
to the
God.
next level. I really do.
Juju Watkins is amazing. Like
Yeah.
and she has aura. Like I want to like I, honestly
Well,
I think about
dude,
Juju
she
Watkins
freaking
like
she plays like James Harden. She has a step back jumper. She can drive on girls. She draws fouls. Like it's like
yeah.
holy
She
smokes!
is
You just watch
ridiculous.
James Harden. Like
But like I was like, can we get her in the W like now? Like we need her in the W now. Like with the W,
yeah,
you got to
yeah.
stay for all 4 years, obviously with women. But it's just like she's ready to play with the big girls. And people hate Caitlin Clark. They gonna hate her because like because she has so much like behind her. Like she has like so much aura behind her. But I get where you're going for it. I would agree there a little bit more coordination, better passing can be done. I think there's so just kind of background. The W has a very strong, very weird season, like very off season and like in season, like even like in a few weeks they're gonna go on a month break because of the Olympics. So and then after college, they have only like 2 weeks to practice with each other before their first game. I think it may even be less than that. So there's just not enough time to build that chemistry that you get. So that's why you see teams like the Connecticut Suns who have been playing with each other for so long, like play really well and like they have really good passing, they have really good players. So same thing for the Aces. So I agree with what you're saying in terms of the coordination and the passing, but I think a lot of it has to do with how long these players have played with each other for.
I think that's like might be the politically correct answer. So I mean, I'll give you that. But just watching, I would strongly disagree because I can go to the park right now with four guys I've never played before, and I will not see as many turnovers as I saw from watching one W game. But let's go on to the next list.
Let's go.
I'm going to skip a couple because I feel like a couple of them we just talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So
I
I'm
agree.
going to go into the offensive rebounds.
Yeah,
Like
there's a lot of them.
it's first of all,
They
the
don't
girls
box
can't
out.
shoot. They can't shoot. So when it's going up, it will be a miss. It will be a miss. I'll repeat. It will be missed. The girls can't shoot. When they make it, even the girls themselves are surprised. The only person that shoots with confidence that I saw was I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm terrible with names. Sabrina Ionescu.
Sabrina
She'll
Ionescu,
shoot an
yes.
air ball and she will
Bro,
have her little.
every
She does
shot.
her little thing,
Well, no,
and I'm like, that's what she does.
Arika
Oh, she's another one. She's
Iguodala,
another one too. She's another one.
she will shoot a
Yeah, that's a
shot
good call out.
that
That's a
touches the
good call.
backboard, and she thinks it's going in.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Jackie Young is another one where she'll shoot with confidence, but Diana Taurasi is the same way. I mean, she's been doing it
Yeah.
for so
What
long,
I
but I get
did,
your point.
what I did was I went and did my research. And I said I had it pulled up on my other computer, but I don't have it. So let me go to because this one was big for me, Joseph. I said,
Is it the
no
shooting
wonder.
percentage?
It's the shooting percentage.
Yeah, it's very low.
I'm like, dude. I'm like, this is crazy.
Like shooting 40% in the
Enrique
WNBA
Agabolali,
is good.
36%.
Yeah,
She's second in the league in scoring, and she's shooting 36%. Shout out to Asia Wilson. She's shooting 50%.
50,
All
50.
her
Yeah, she's
stuff's
a
at the
baller.
rim. She's a great mid range. I give her that.
Yeah,
Um,
she's
but
good.
yeah, a lot of these girls 36%, 44%, and I'm like, what is that? 34%, 36%. Like these
Yeah,
are like their best players. Jackie Young, just mentioned her. I'll give her 40. She's at 39.8.
she's been
Caitlin
struggling
Clark,
this
she's a
year.
rookie, but 37. Dana Taurasi, 37. Like, I'm like,
I will say,
holy
wait,
moly.
wait. Have you
This
seen
is,
Kayla? Have you seen Kayla McBride play for the Lynx?
I don't think so. Well, maybe. Maybe.
You would know
I'm not
her
well in the
off of
Lynx yet.
one
But I watched the
it,
Lynx, like, they came out a lot. They were like 3 times I think I watched them.
Napier. So they have two players, two really good players, like Napier, Nafisa Collier, and they have
Yeah, she's
I
really
just
good.
said her
She's the
name.
post. She's the post.
Yeah, I just said her name. Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride, she's a shooter. She has like a really good jump shot. Like it's like a form jump shot. Like if I so she shoots really well.
She's shooting 49% right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She's
So
really good.
it's yeah. And I'm like, we gotta up this up, ladies. If we want to get paid like the NBA players, I mean, we crap on who do we crap on? Jason Tatum?
I mean,
Jason Tatum
technically,
shot better than this last night.
yeah. 6 for 6,
Like,
6 for 16. Yeah, no, I see
yeah,
where he's going from. I see where you're saying
like
from.
remember you're criticizing Jason Tatum, and they want me to promote like what the women are doing. And is it the ball? Because that
I do
ball,
think
it,
I do think the
do they
ball is super bouncy.
do they play with the 4 square ball or a two
The
square ball?
ball is
I don't know. I'm
super
taking hits
bouncy.
back here, but
I've never
they play with
dribbled a
this little
WNBA
red
ball
ball.
before,
It me neither. But that sucker
but
bounces away. And
it
I'm
looks
like,
bouncy.
it looks like I'm telling you, it looks like they're playing basketball with a little 2 square ball. That's what it looks like they're doing. One of those bouncy balls. And it's ridiculous. I'm like, we need to fix this. Because maybe
Yeah, I'm
this is
just
why
looking.
people they turn the ball over. I'm like, what's happening?
Well, even Angel Reese, she's shooting like 36%, like 35%, and she's a post player. So,
Just
like,
this is what it is.
I
It
mean,
is what
I
it
get what you're
is.
saying. Like shooting
Now,
anything. I think anything
part
above
of it,
45% is good, though. I would say.
part of it
I
is, well,
mean,
I'll
similar
give
to W
the refs don't
NBA.
call fouls.
No, it don't,
So
and it's
I'll give
annoying.
them that. I'll give them that, right? Because they miss a shot, they get tackled, and the refs don't call foul. So that ruins their shooting percentage. But I don't think it affects it this much. Like, 'cause what I saw this weekend,
Oh, you know who's really good, but who has
you have a
really
better
like
chance.
bad shooting percentage? Sorry, but go
Who?
ahead though.
Because I think you have a better. I think if I was just, betting with the guy, I'm like, hey, the shot that the woman's about to shoot, do you think it's going to be a made basket, a missed shot, like hits the rim, or if it's an air ball? I'm putting my money on air ball every time. I'm sorry.
This guy. Okay. I was gonna say another good WNBA player that you should watch is Marina Mabry. She's really good. She has a low shooting percentage, but she can make any shot on the floor. I think she got.
If you say so.
I think she got. I think she should have made the Olympic team. Okay, let's get to your other points. Or was that it?
What else do I got? Benches. Benches don't exist. So, do they have like a six man of the year award, or excuse me, six woman of the year
Yeah,
award? Do they have that?
last year I think Jackie Young won that award last year. I
Okay,
want to
so they
say.
do have the
I'm not
award. Okay,
positive. I think Jackie Young won it, but it was like yeah, it was. I mean, they have like a 6 man, similar to the 6 man a year
okay.
award.
Because I thought that would be a great idea if they didn't,
I want to see
because
Jackie Young won
I
that
feel like
award. Something last
I'm
year.
watching the same players play the entire game. Um, and it's reminiscent of college. 'Cause I remember like watching college and they would never get out the game. And then sure enough,
Oh,
my
Aisha Clark.
my
I knew
uh,
someone from the Vegas one last
my
year.
stats, a lot of them, like Kelsey Plum plays 37 out of a possible 40 minutes a game. Um,
Asia Wilson plays a lot of
34
minutes too.
minutes, 34 minutes out of the 40. Enrique, she's set
She,
sometimes. She's playing 39 and a half minutes a game.
yeah,
Oh, but she played overtime tonight, double overtime.
yeah,
So I forgot about that. Um,
I will
but
say
yeah, a lot of
the Aces. I will say the Aces, the Suns, and I
aces
think
are trash, by the way.
Aces. Yeah, they've been playing pretty bad lately. But the Aces don't have their point guard. So
It's
like
trash.
look at the like, Aces minutes last year. I guarantee it's not as high as they were this year because they don't have Chelsea Young right now. So I think the Aces typically use their bench because that's what Becky Hammond's whole thing is. Her whole thing is bench, bench, bench,
Okay,
bench,
I'm
bench.
looking, Joseph, and
So
Kelsey Plum went from 37 minutes to 32. Asia Wilson went from 34 to 31.
yeah, so
So that's what you're saying.
it has a lot to do with just their overall team and not being healthy right now, and also they lost Candace Parker. So and Candace Parker didn't play for the majority of last year.
She's on a
So
new team every year.
well, she's not. Well, she
Where's she at
retired.
now?
She retired.
No way. She
But
finally retired.
shout to Candace Parker. You are
Oh yeah,
a
she was. No, no, no.
she's a
I
goat.
think she doesn't get enough recognition because I hear so many times, Joseph, how Caitlin Clark is the best women's basketball player ever, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? I was like,
Yeah, we
I was a
literally just
kid,
had
I know, but
Candace
there's this
Parker.
girl that was dunking, like Candace was dunking at Tennessee.
Yeah,
Like I,
I mean, we had Maya Moore for a long time before she went to become a lawyer.
Diana
Uh,
Taurasi was
Diana
huge. Like I'm
Taurasi,
just like, this is a
Sue
joke,
Bird. I
dude.
mean, there's a
The one that came right
there's a lot
before
of W.
Caitlin, they kicked her, poor little girl. They kicked her to the curb, man. Sabrina Ionescu, like
Yeah,
they
so
kicked
yeah,
her
Sabrina
to the
Ionescu, they
curb.
really did. But
They she's like
she was for sure the.
she was gonna be in New York. She
It
was
was
gonna be the
crazy.
star.
What's
They
crazy
just
about
kicked her out.
Sabrina is that she was a very bad shooter. Like look it up her stats. She was a very
She's great
bad
now.
shooter
She almost beat Steph.
her rookie year. Like probably one of the worst shooters in the W. And after the COVID season, she just went off. And I don't know what she did. Like whether it be training the staff or what, I don't know what she did. But shout out to Sabrina. She's she's from Walnut Creek, right? She's from the Bay.
I had no clue, but good for
Yeah.
her.
All right. Anything else from the W side?
Man, I got the coaches are dumb on here. I don't remember where I
Yeah,
put that one.
I think the coaching level is not as good as it is in the it is in the NBA. Or honestly, even college. Like I think the two best coaches in the W are Becky Hammond and then Stephanie. I can't think of her name for the Suns coach. I got it. And then the third best coach I would say is the Liberty coach. She's
Hmm.
really good. I don't
Oh,
know the
can we
records
talk
though,
about
but
Liberty? I'm so sorry. Can we talk about Liberty? Because they're my favorite to win it all after what I've
oh,
seen.
dude, their defense is amazing this year.
Well, I just love
Their
it.
defense.
Brianna Stewart. Did I say her
Oh,
name right?
she's
Brianna?
amazing.
Brianna?
She's like okay,
That
okay.
girl.
Who does she remind you of in the NBA? Like give her an NBA comp because I want to hear it.
My NBA comp? I don't know because she's like really tall, but she's like pretty athletic, and she can finish at the rim. She knows how to get fouled. She's a great mid-range shooter. So I mean, I don't know where you're going with this. I mean,
No.
is she
I always say
KD?
that.
Like, what is she?
Yeah. I always say that she reminds me of Kevin Durant. I always say that. I
Okay,
always
so I
say
was like,
Kevin
okay,
Durant.
I was like KD. I said KD.
Like
You heard me.
legit,
I said
like
KD.
legit. Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, I always say that her game is like Kevin Durant. Like she's like, I mean, she's not as efficient as Durant is. I'm not gonna lie, she takes a lot of shots, taking a little bit more shots than Durant does. But her game is just, to me, she's my favorite player to watch. I love watching her play. Her and Sabrina Ionescu are like perfect together. And then they got John Quill Jones. They got
Yeah, they're my favorite. I think they're gonna
Bethany.
pull it
What's
off.
her name? I can't think of her name. Their little four that
Don't
they
ask me.
have.
I'm terrible with names.
But yeah, I like Liberty a lot. Their defense has been what has been helping me a lot because last year that was their thing. I mean, it was like they weren't a good defensive team. Like they just weren't. Like they would outscore you, and that's why they made it to the finals. But they weren't the best defensive team.
Oh,
So
I didn't know
this
they made it
year,
to the finals last year.
yeah. They played they lost like on a
Aces had to be the
they lost like
Aces.
on a like so their Van Sloot, their point guard, the one that shoots like this, she shoots like she's shot putting. I don't know if you've probably seen her shoot. She shoots very weird.
I think so. I was thinking of
She like
Deli Pump. Excuse me.
airballed a three, like to
Mm.
win the game last
Who
year.
could have predicted
But
that?
and to your point. But yeah. So you think the Liberty are going to win it all? I would agree there right now. I think just off of the teams that are playing right now, the Liberty to me play the best. I mean, obviously you got the Connecticut Suns, but they're always going to be good.
I don't think
But
they're. I watched them
they're
today
like
versus
they're like
they don't
the
have.
they're like you remember those Boonhoser teams like in the NBA that were always good in regular season but wouldn't make it past anything in the playoffs. Like that's them. They're although they did win the finals 2 years back. I'm not saying that that they haven't won anything, but they're just I don't think
The girls I watched this season, I did it again.
that.
The women I watched earlier today, before we jumped on this, no, they're not. No, they can't compete with
Um,
if the Liberty are playing at their peak, they gonna need a lot of help.
I didn't. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss today in the W by chance?
No, I just think it's a pretty flawed product today, but I think there's a lot of people that are going to push this to be successful. Um, I could see TNT trying to like get in on some rights here if they can try to put some, like who wouldn't want to watch them like the what do you call those guys, the NBA guys, like
It's an NBA talk about the W.
yeah. Yeah,
That'd be
I would
very
love to
nice.
see them discuss the WNBA. Hear how Shaq doesn't watch, and then he can say, "I'm not familiar with your game" to all these women.
I'm not
But that I
familiar
think
with your
that would
game.
be, I think, yeah, I think that would really help them. I don't know if they're grouped in with the NBA's deal already, or if they're separate.
So
I
they
have no clue how that
are.
works.
They are. They're like
So
an
it's
afterthought, pretty much. Though
so it's
they like
no
kind of like
chance.
the. So they have their own separate. So they're. So I was looking it up because I was like, because in my eyes I was like, well, I was just thinking about the Caitlin Clark situation. I'm all like, well, I was like, this should be a perfect time to send Caitlin Clark to the Olympics to like have some leverage for like TV rights deal. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, when does the
She
WNBA contract end for their CBA like the TV rights deal? So it ends at the end of this season, but the deal is connected to the NBA. So whatever the NBA negotiates
mm,
is going to be. So
okay.
right now, I don't think the W has any type of say in what they can, whether they want where they want to get more money or not. Like I don't think we're going to see a big thing for the WNBA for another, I would say 5-10 years. In terms,
Man,
in,
that's
in terms
unfortunate
of
because I just feel
it
like
is, it is,
they could
it,
really
it
benefit
is,
from
it is.
coming out from under the NBA's umbrella into
I
launching their own thing. Because until
that's
then,
and
they're always going to be little sibling.
that's but so this is what people have been wanting the WNBA to do for a long time, but the commissioner of the WNBA is not. I don't want to
Well,
say
is
not
it? I
good.
don't know how.
He,
I don't
he,
know what their P&L looks like, Joseph, because it's not a
well,
good product.
that's the
So
thing.
if they're
They don't
always
have the
taking
money.
loss,
They literally take they literally take like a 50-60% loss every year, and it's been
see,
bad.
they're gonna have
Now
they're
it
gonna
has
have
been
to try to
it's
buy out their rights from the NBA and ask
I,
for some type of loan. Like that's what their best bet is going to be. See if they can
I think I
bet
think they
themselves.
may be able to do that in 5 years. I would not be surprised if they do that in 5 years. People are saying that because Caleb Clark's contract is going to be I think it's 4 or 5 years. Angel Reese is another big name that a lot of people don't talk about, but I think she has a lot of
She's okay. I
following
don't know if
behind
she's
her.
going to be.
Well, it's
I
not
don't know
about
if
being
she's.
a. I think I think this is different between. I think this is different between men's and women's. Like women don't care if you're really good at your sport. Like they just like there are
Well,
women in WNBA who
they're
are not
Joseph.
good, but they're on
They
a
won't.
roster, but they
They
look
won't
good. Like
take
so,
Joseph.
so and this is not
They won't
me.
take the leap that they expect to. Like the NBA. You think the NBA just
But
went from
this is the
no the
fans
NBA
though.
no
This is
because
the fans, not the.
I'm
This is the
I
fan
don't
base.
care
This is the
about the
fan base I'm
fans
talking about.
because if you look at the if you look like people talk about today's league is so global in the NBA, so global. You look at all the international players. That didn't happen overnight. That did not happen overnight.
Yeah, it's
The
true.
NBA, David Stern's little corrupt self, he said, "Hey, I need this money. We need this money. The domestic dollars are cool, but overseas, there's a lot of money out there." So what did he do, Joseph? What did he do? I mean, very important decision. He went out and forced Tony Kukoc to play for the Chicago Bulls. That's what he did. Everyone's like, or he's like, oh, look at this guy. He's from a foreign country. He can shoot. We like him. He's on our best team. he's on the best team, you know, and
And
they
then, and they
launched
also
that
had
into
I forget that one guy. He always gets forgotten. That
who?
point guard who played for the Kings.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Keep at your point, but I'll think of his
Okay,
name. Or the Nets. He played for the Nets. But go ahead, keep on going.
I have no clue what you're talking about. But they rolled that success story into other players. I remember Sabonis growing up. You see his son today doing some great things. His daddy played too. His dad was really good. Uh,
Drazen
there's
Petrovic. That's his name. That's what I was thinking of.
Don't know that guy at all. Sorry.
You
So
I
there's
mean, you
another
would
one
know him
then.
if you see him before, but
You sure tell me that if you
go
want.
ahead, go ahead. No,
But
sorry, my bad.
no, I'm just saying like this is what happens. Like the NBA, like Davis Stern forced these players to play, and then it rolls up into
Yeah,
like all these guys helped bring Dirk Nowitzki to be Dirk Nowitzki.
that's true.
I hope he knows that. Like these guys all cross so he can run type deal, and then he
Yeah,
passed the baton to other guys too. It's not. I'm just saying it just kept continuing, and then we get today where it's Giannis, Luca, Jokic, like
I
and
mean,
it's like
three best
and then
players.
what did I get? Now we got Wimby, like
Yeah.
and then there's it's just gonna keep on growing like that. But you got to think big picture. So if you're
Well,
the
that's
WNBA, Just you're telling me they're not pushing talent; they're just pushing people who look good.
well.
I don't know, man, because
Okay. So that was not what I was saying. I was saying fans are doing that. I think that's what the fans are doing. And in my opinion, I think that's was the biggest miss for me with Caitlin Clark going to Olympic team because I feel like they could have draw a global audience. And people's pushback is going to be, oh well, WNBA players they play overseas already, so they already have an audience
yeah,
overseas,
that's true though.
which is true, which is
But they already know how
okay.
to compete. They already know how to compete
But
with international women.
yeah, but exactly. But there's also this thing where what if they didn't have to go to the overseas to play, to make $1 million, right? So like, because I mean, to their credit, they get paid millions of dollars to go play overseas for a short period of time. Like Breanna Stewart, her contract was $1 million. Brittany Griner's contract that she had in the Russia was I think over $1 million. So to their credit, they do get paid to play basketball, seven figures. So I will say though, I think there is a huge miss in just the overall growth of the game when it comes to more eyeballs and when it comes to hey, like China for example, like China.
I got a question
Remember
too.
like a few
Who
years
are they
ago.
kicking off? Who
Remember a
are we
few years
kicking
ago.
off to add Caitlin Clark?
Well, hold on. Let me finish my point, but
All right, finish
we
the
can go
point.
there. Remember a few years ago where it was like the NBA made a deal with China for like to like go over there and like play games over there, and it was like a pretty big deal because that was part of the revenue share. And I could have seen something like where the WNBA could have done something like that, similar, right? Where they could have players play in China or something like that. And I mean, it's still possible, but it's not there. And I don't think personally, in my opinion, I don't think Caitlin Clark's merit deserves to be on the be on the Olympic team. I don't. I don't think she's at that level yet. I do think she would have helped grow the game. I do think that Diana Taurasi and all the other girls who are the women who are on the team would have mentored her, helped her learn the game, learn the overall game. She could have been. It would have been a good mentorship for her to kind of run through. Um, that was my viewpoint on it. That's where I was like, hey, I think Caitlin Clark should have went because she could have get mentored, like kind of like how Anthony Davis got mentored. When he was a rookie. So I don't know who you would take off. Like the only person I would see take off, the roster's stacked. I'm not gonna lie. So the only person I could see take off is Chelsea Young because she is hurt right now, and she may be hurt. To win the
Jackie
Olympics.
Young?
Sorry, no. Chelsea Young for
Oh,
the
I don't see her.
Aces.
I
She's
don't see her
she's
list.
on she's on the roster. No,
They have a Jackie Young and a Chelsea Young on the Aces.
Chelsea Gray. I'm tripping. Sorry, Chelsea Gray.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Chelsea Gray. She should be on the roster. Though, no, Chelsea Gray.
She's on Chelsea Gray's on here. Yeah.
Yeah. She's on the Aces too, but yeah, Chelsea Gray. I think she may be on there. She could have been taken up, but I mean, she
She's
won the
25-3 in
yeah
the in for playing
yeah
for the women's.
Well, here's the thing with the women's basketball. They're 70-3 over the last 73 games. Like they could take the second best player on each team to the Olympic and still win. Like there's a lot of girls who didn't make it. Like
This way,
Enrique
Joseph,
didn't make it.
you're trying to kick off somebody. I don't like this
Well,
woman's finals MVP, 5-time All-Star,
Chelsea
all
Young is a
WNBA
baller.
first team.
Yes, she's a baller. Yes, I'm not saying that she's not, but I'm just saying she's not healthy. Like she's not healthy right now. So if I would say that she shouldn't make it because she's not healthy.
I'm learning so much today.
She's not healthy right now. But that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So if I am on the committee, I'm saying, hey, if Chelsea Young's not healthy, then I think we should bring Caitlin Clark in. That's what I'm saying. I I don't think you should remove any of these women because all of them deserve to be on it, and all of them have been practicing for the past year and a half. So I don't think none of them are going to be off of it for Caitlin Clark. But if there were to have someone be taken off of it, I think Chelsea Gray would be that person just because of her health right now. And the Olympics is in a few weeks. So I don't know if she's
And
going to be healthy.
she wasn't even on the qualifying tournament roster.
Uh, Caitlin Clark was. Yes,
I'm
she
looking,
was.
I'm looking at it right now.
She made the roster in April during the Final Four because they wanted her to come and practice, but she didn't. But she couldn't because
Oh, it's not.
it was during the tournament.
They left her name
Unless I
off.
thought.
Go girl.
Unless I thought so. All right, let's get to.
Well, anyway,
I think we're good there with the WNBA.
yeah,
That's the
I feel
WNBA.
like
That was a long
we can
time.
discuss more about the W. Like I said, Joseph, it's a lot of opportunity, but I don't know. I just feel like I would want to see them grow apart from the NBA because the NBA is already a trash product, and I don't want to see them become a trash product too. Yeah, I said it.
So,
Trash. Celtics,
oh,
Mavs. I got two teams that are trash, and everyone's mad at me. They're like, Zachary, you said the Timberwolves are going to beat the Mavs. What happened? And I'm like, I can't help it if PJ Washington decides not to miss. Like, who saw that coming?
and now he can't make.
And
Now
then
he
now
can't
look at
make.
PJ Washington. He looks like PJ Washington, just an average NBA player.
Yeah,
You wouldn't want him on your
it's
team if they gave you him. Please, PJ Washington.
it's very frustrating, honestly, for PJ Washington right now. Derrick Jones missing threes, Kyrie Irving missing shots that he was making against the T Wolves. I really hope the Mavs win these next two games. I just do, but it
Right
doesn't
now,
look like it. It looks like a
I,
sweep right now.
if we're talking talent, it's a sweep. But we all know that Mister not Stern, he learned from his daddy Stern.
I'm
Silver,
sober.
they know how to manipulate a game, baby. They gonna make it so this is a series.
Well, listen, even besides that, because I mean, honestly, who cares? I would say the Celtics' biggest issue is going to be Tatum and Brown, or actually Tatum more is a struggle.
Well, I want to hear your take because I got mine.
Like Drew Holiday, he missed two shots yesterday, 26 points. I think he was like 11 for
They're all
13.
layups.
And well, that's what I was gonna say. Every shot was inside the paint. He had a couple wide open threes, but every shot he shot was wide open, and he only missed two shots. Tatum, to me, this Celtics team, honestly, they are really they're orchestrated great. They just are. They have a deep team. They have two max players, actually actually four. I'm sorry, four max players, right? With Porzingis, Drew, Tatum, Brown, and then they have another guy who's bald and who went bald, and all of a sudden he can't miss his three, and he's the best defender on their team, which is Derek White. And then they got Al Horford, who he's found the fountain of youth over these past three seasons. Porzingis can't miss, so they just this team is just too deep. And then off the bench they have guys who make shots. Even Peyton Pritchard, like everybody knows how good Peyton Pritchard is because we all watched him growing up. When he was when I guess really not growing up, but just watched him at Oregon, right? So everyone knew he was a baller when he went to Boston. Who watched the Pac-12? I just think to me this is why to me though Tatum can't even if the Celtics win, I still don't respect Tatum's game. I just don't because you got saved by your team. And listen, I know people in the comments are gonna be like, "Well, Kobe Bryant shot 6 of 25 in the game 7 against the Celtics, and he had to pass the ball to Ron Artest for them to win the game."
6.4.
Was it 24? So, anyways, but with that being said, he still averaged over 25 a game during that series. Has Tatum even scored 20 points this series? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he has scored 20 points in these past 2 games. And it's really crazy to me that your best player, quote unquote best player, can't get 20 points. And then they kept him in the game in game 1 so he could get more points. And he couldn't get 20 points in that game. Yeah, I think he finished with 15 points or 18 points, something like that. Listen, Tatum, listen, man, I respect you for quote unquote taking the back seat, doing what you think you're saying, but you're still shooting poorly. You're still shooting the shots, the same shots you normally take. You're still shooting them, and you're missing them. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Jaylen Brown is the best player on that team. I'm agreeing with Kid. Might even be Derek White, honestly.
I think well, we have to take a step back and understand that Brown has his looks because Tatum exists.
That is true.
White has his looks because Tatum exists.
That is
Like,
true.
that's what's going on. Now, what I think we wanted, this is the problem I think that American fans create, okay? We create these ideas in our head of what success looks like. So we expect every champion is supposed to be this guy that leads the team, Michael Jordan type thing, Tom Brady type thing,
Kobe
like
Bryant,
Patrick Mahomes, Kobe Bryant. Like this is what we expect.
Steph Curry.
We really hate team basketball. We really, for some reason, we do. We hate team sports. When a whole team, we don't want to see that. We want to see one guy who can put the team on his back and go out there and do things. So we would rather have Tatum go, the Celtics win with Tatum scoring 40 points. Like that's what for some reason that's what is expected out of these guys. What I think happened, Joseph, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think Jaylen Brown has a huge personality, and I think Drew Holiday is a team leader on that. I think he helped steer that ship too, and I think Derek White's another leader. They have multiple leaders on that team. So the talented guy, it's almost like he's saying, "Come get me when you need me," like because he's just out there just going through, getting people involved. Like it's really cool to see.
Tatum's not a leader though. I think that's what you're saying, right?
I think we expect him to be because he's the best player on the team, at least the most talented. But that's just not his personality. He'd much rather let other people do it, and I think that's totally fine. I mean, it's totally fine.
Would be okay.
It's totally fine.
I would be okay with that perspective if he didn't do.
Who's going to be laughing when he
Mamba, obsession?
Well, that's a huge problem. But I have that same problem, Joseph, with Devin Booker. I have the same thing with Devin Booker. Devin Booker acts like he's Kobe Bryant, and I'm like, dude, shut up.
But Devin Booker will get in his teammate's face and be like, "Hey, you got to play better." I can do it.
Caillou is still trash. The dude wants to be Kobe, but only plays offense. Kobe Bryant played both sides.
But this one thing with Tatum, though.
At least Tatum plays both sides.
Tatum is a great defender. I will say that. He's a great defender. And he's a great offensive player. But when you need him the most, when you need
Tatum guards 1 through 5.
Like, watch, even if he has a good game, it's going to be a good half. He will never, in the playoffs, Tatum rarely ever plays a good first half, second half.
Well,
of scoring.
I'll tell you this.
Of scoring.
He's going to have one more championship than me and you.
But now he's playing a full. But now I'm saying now he's playing a great first and second half as just a guy on a basketball team. And like to your point, we're used to that version not being associated with the best player on the team. We're used to that version being associated with the third best, the fourth best, maybe even the second best. Like even Dwayne Wade, he was robbing a LeBron. So I think we have high expectations for him, but it's only right because look what Luka's doing. Look what Giannis did when he won a championship. Look what Nikola Jokic did when he won a championship. Look at what Steph Curry did when he won a championship. Like I was looking at the points per game
Yeah,
from
look at the
in the
one.
2020
Yeah, and
season.
they
Like
gave
like
Iguodala
31.
they
Oh,
gave
even the season, yeah,
Iguodala Finals MVP.
yeah, because
Like
because
that's
Steph had one bad game. I think that's the reason why he
he
did
averaged 23 for the series,
which is
and then
crazy.
like
23,
let's
5, and
give it to
5.
this guy. It's like let's give it to this guy for shutting LeBron
But
down.
but Steph
LeBron
Steph
averaged 15 and 15, but he shut him
but
down.
Steph didn't. But
So
I think this is why the 2022 finals was like Steph to the ring because he
okay,
proved to everybody that he was the alpha of that
so
team
where's
all
Tatum?
along.
Why? Okay, let's talk about
Tatum
Tatum in
Tatum
10
is in
years
that.
when he's playing for
Okay,
his fifth
maybe
championship.
maybe maybe so, maybe so.
You're comparing.
Tatum is in that same boat right now with Steph, where honestly Derek White would have won MVP right now. I think. I'm sorry, not Derek White. Drew Holiday would have won MVP right now for the finals, in my opinion.
But,
It should have
but I
gonna be
don't
Drew
think they
Holiday
care.
or
I really
Porzingis.
don't think they care.
I don't think Tatum cares either.
I don't
But when
think they
it
care.
comes to resume, when it comes to that G5, whatever Shaq says, right? Having those conversations of like, hey, like I am that best player in the NBA. You can't say that.
But
You can say
okay,
you're a
we.
champion. Go for it.
But
But
where does this
and
get
this is
you?
and
Because
but
then
this
you
is but
because then you look up and you're Kevin Durant, who he had Kevin Durant. If he was with the Warriors, he'd still be winning championships today. But
that's true.
instead, he listened to people like you. He's not the alpha. He has to win it by himself. And that dude's been miserable ever since he left California. You can't tell me he's a happy guy with his basketball career. Now, the money probably helps out a whole lot, and he's got to live in New York and then
New York,
Arizona,
Phoenix,
great
yeah.
places, right? But you can't tell me he's happy going home in the first round every year. Like, but he's doing what you want, Joseph. He's fighting for a chance. He's fighting to be the guy. No, man, that's a load of crap that people put when they're bored. Just sit back, enjoy the ugliness from Jason Tatum, and watch him win some championships with uh, the Boston Celtics. Because I don't see another team beating them for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Celtics. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep all their teams, but the
They're all
Celtics
under contract.
are balls right now.
They're all under contract for the next 2 years.
No, I mean well, yeah, I guess that's true. So
Yeah,
so so this has like I'm gonna make a. I didn't realize this, but Chelsea Gray is from Manteca, the
yeah, I
point guard
saw
for
it too.
it's crazy. She actually won MVP of the CIF tournament. Crazy. I mean, she went
You
to Duke.
go.
So. But anyways, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add to the Boston Celtics.
No, I just think like we talked about LeBron going to the you say LeBron going to the Sixers. Okay, they're still a first round exit team. Like the Celtics are
No,
still gonna
I
beat them.
don't
Don't
think
know
so.
how
First
many
round exit.
games. Like the East is bad. The Celtics should be able to walk through. It's going to take a major swift, like I don't like shift. Excuse me, from somebody from the West to come East or something. Because I mean, I just don't. Who's gonna compete with the Celtics for the next 3 years for titles?
I mean, yeah, that's another conversation, Zachary. I think
The Mavs are gonna.
I would
The Mavericks got
say
lucky. Kyrie Irving hasn't gotten hurt in this playoff, which is very
I'm
surprising to
trying to
me. I
think.
think he's still gonna get hurt, like he always does.
I
Like,
think I think if the T Wolves bring in another scorer other than Anthony Edwards, I think they can be with them. They could beat him in the
yeah,
finals.
I would like to see that. I think you got to
They
bring
wouldn't,
Cat.
but I think I would say honestly I would say keep Cat if you can and
Heck
bring
no, that
in
dude's trash.
another shooter. Like
He's trash.
try to trade
Nah,
someone else.
no, man. They get rid of Cat. Have Big Daniels play the 4 or the 3, depending on who
So
you're playing. And
who
get
could you
yourself another
trade
score.
Cat for? Who could you trade Cat for?
I mean, I would love if the Brown Tatum thing. If you just had to get rid of one of them, throw Cat out there of that line. I'd strongly do that, but I don't see that happen. I think they're fine with each other. That's media driven.
Trying to think.
Um,
Because I feel
I'm
like
trying to
this.
think.
If if the T Wolves can get if the T Wolves can somehow get Damian Lillard, I think that
I
puts
wouldn't
them.
touch him. I
No,
wouldn't
you
touch
think he's
Dame. That
done?
dude's a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He
So you gotta
belongs
get a
with Doc
proven,
Rivers.
you gotta get a proven champion, someone who has won before, but is a guard who can score at all three levels. I mean, there aren't too many out there. I mean, you got
No, I'm
Kyrie,
trying to. I'm
Steph,
trying. They're all teamed up with each other.
Drew
I would
Holiday.
love to. Honestly, I would like. It's not going to
Drew
happen
Holiday would have been
because
perfect for them.
Cat's not Heat culture. But Jimmy Butler for Cat, I mean, I would love to see
Oh
that.
yeah, Jimmy Butler.
But I think I'll tell you
Yeah,
this. This one I'd be really excited for, actually. I want to see Trae Young traded for Karl Anthony Towns.
I
I
would
think
love to
that
see
makes
Trae
sense for
Young and
both
Rudy go
teams.
there.
I
Trae
think
Young,
that makes a lot of
you
sense for
can
both sides.
and you can hide Trae Young on defense. Like you can hide him on defense. As
Yeah,
the
when you have
Teals
Gobert, and then you have
what's the guy's
McDaniel's
name?
and
Colin.
like I think I want to see that.
Trae
I want
Young
to see
for
that.
Carthy Town.
And then this works for the Hawks too, Joseph.
maybe even get Capella with that trade. I
No,
mean,
I think Capella has to
yeah, that'd
stay
be bad.
because
That'd be bad.
I need to sell Cat. I need to sell Cat.
Yeah,
Come
that'd be
here.
bad.
You'll still play the four. You'll play with the point
Yeah,
guard who's Dejounte Murray. Like I would really want to. I really want to see that.
yeah.
I think that'd be a good team.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Or, you know what you could do too? I got another one for you. This
Let me
isn't a
see.
Cat trade. This is keeping Cat. This is keeping Cat. Keeping Cat. But I want to see them with a real point guard because Michael Conley, I hate him. Yeah, said it.
What do you think?
Go get Ben Simmons. All right, I'm out.
Okay, guys. Well, you've had it there. Ben Simmons to the T Wolves for
Or would you
$45
do
million.
this? Would you do this? Ingram, Brandon Ingram
Ingram's
for
just free
Cat.
agent too. Oh no, heck
Ingram for
no.
Cat
No, I would need some first to go with it from if I'm the T Wolves.
for who? Who needs to pay more?
Huh?
Who would have to pay more?
The Pelicans have to pay more for Cat and Brandon Ingram. I mean,
Really?
I love Brandon Ingram, but like they're not equal. Like I don't
I
think
thought
they're
they were the
equal.
same guy.
I don't think they're equal. In my opinion. I think Brandon Ingram is. I
I
may
thought they were the
be
same
over.
guy.
May be overvaluing Cat, but I think in the GM office,
Where do you rank Cat though? Because I
in
think
terms of
he is
overall
very
players,
overrated player. I think he's very
I think
overrated.
I think he's a top. I would say he's a top 25 guy. He's a top 25 player in my opinion.
Okay, when you say top 25, the way I look at it, he can be the best player on your team because there's 30 teams in the NBA. And like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say that he could be best player on the team. I don't think Brandon Ingram can be
Okay,
best player on the team and win. I mean, we've seen
so
it. We've seen it.
that you're making my point for me. That's why I said I think they're the same player.
Eh,
Because I
I
think
mean,
if Cat's by himself,
but I listen to
they're
Cat when
they're they're
they were a
number one
playing
pick.
team. They were a
They're
playing
number one
team.
pick with Cat. No, they weren't. They
Yeah,
were picking number one. That's how they got Anthony Edwards.
yeah, that's true. I guess I heard. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to think on it some more and look at some stats. But honestly, it's not an argument with that. Cat
Their
versus
shot
Brandon
selection,
Ingram.
both of their shot selection is very poor. Oh, that's another thing I noticed about Tatum. Tatum to me, he's really I don't know if he's confident in what he's doing
He is.
because
He just.
no.
His shot is
Watch the
ugly.
game because he looks like I don't
That's
know
what I'm
what
saying.
kind of
He's
he doesn't
not. He's
have
not.
any spots on the floor. He has
No,
zero
he's not
spots
a.
on the
Well,
floor. And I
no,
find that
that's the
very
thing.
odd.
He's not an alpha. He doesn't know how to take over games. He doesn't know how
Kevin,
to take
I
charge.
know if you tell
Like,
me
look at
Kevin
Jalen
Durant, I
Brown.
know where his shots.
Jalen Brown can do whatever he wants on the court, or whatever he
Well,
wants. He can do fadeaways. He can drive. He can shoot.
Jalen
As
Brown
long
has
as
a
it doesn't
couple
involve his
things.
left hand.
Jalen Brown has spots. He's going to get you a corner three a game, and he's going to attack the rim. Like that's what Brown's going to give you. Like those are I'm saying these are their spots. Holiday, rim slashing, and he'll shoot a three twice a game. Not a lot, just once, twice a game. Porzingis, mid range. White's going to jack up threes. Like they have a lot of guys that have their spots. Tatum has zero spots on the floor where I feel like
Yeah.
he wants to get to. And I've noticed this when the playoffs started. I was just like, this dude just really just plays. I don't know if he's bored with the game because he knows the team is so darn good, or if he just has no IQ with the game. But That's my
Yeah.
question for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Tatum is very indecisive on what he wants to do, like when he's playing. So
Yeah, I saw
he
that too.
like he doesn't know if he should score here or if he should pass. And
Yeah, he doesn't know if
if
he's attacking. He doesn't, and he's not a
yeah,
quick guy.
yeah, he.
And I think that hurts him a lot.
But I think
Like,
that goes to his characteristic. Like he, to me,
just watch
he's not an alpha. He's just not. And
Paul
what you were
Pierce.
saying in the beginning.
Paul Pierce was the same. Was in my opinion, I think Paul Pierce was the same player Tatum is.
No, Tatum was. I mean, Poppers is way more aggressive.
Yeah, but they're the same player. That's like they're neither
I
one's
don't
quick.
know. Paul
They're
Pierce
not fast
have.
guys. They're slow guys,
I was
but
talking about just like
they can
their
shots.
speed. I was
Well,
no.
how they
Well,
get the score.
Poppers had spots though. Poppers had that. He had that fadeaway
That's the
jumper.
difference, Joseph. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying. Paul
yeah.
Pierce
So
had spots on the floor you knew were his. Tatum needs to
yeah,
watch his game and say, or Paul Pierce goes to the games. You can't go and
but
talk to the guy.
I think Poppers has tried to talk to these guys, and these guys just think they're better than him.
Man,
People don't respect these guys.
Paul Pierce was
Uh,
so nasty.
he was good. He was great. Nasty in a positive way, obviously.
He was one of the
Uh,
most underrated players ever. Dude was so slow. You knew what he was going to do.
and you couldn't
He was
stop
going
it.
to do a little crossover into a shot, or he's going to pump fake until you jump. That dude would pump fake for 24 seconds if he could.
Or he would do that spin move fade away that he
Yeah,
did. That was his
he
that was a
was
beautiful
such a
shot.
great player.
Uh,
Miss that guy.
we don't get those guys anymore. All
Nope.
right, well
Now you get
that's
people
about
who
it.
pretend.
That's about it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That was our NBA WNBA segment. I'll probably split these up so people can watch them freely. But yeah, we'll talk about the NFL later on this week. Hopefully, get some news. I know Mike Tomlin got his contract, but that's not really a huge topic to talk about. Not right now, at least. So we'll get to more NFL. And until then, thank you. As always, please like, subscribe, and share, um, and tune in.
Comment.
Comment as well, please. Comment as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zachary.
All right, man. Later.
Later.